Guys, there's been a missile strike in Iraq's international airport, Baghdad's international airport. But it was partly on an Iraqi, but its main target seems to be the top Iranian general, the top general for the elite Quds force. So his name is Qasem Soleimani. Sorry. We also killed one of the top Iraqi militia commanders, Abu Mahdi al-Mohandes, and he was part of Iraq's Popular Mobilization Forces. Now, we don't know for sure that we did it yet, but right now, it doesn't look good. It's a missile strike. Who else has a capacity for a missile strike? And it is against that group that I just named, who we think is targeting our embassy with the protests/riots that are happening outside of our embassy. Marco Rubio put out a tweet saying, we warned the Quds Force, that's the Iranian group that the general was the head of, and they didn't listen to our warnings. That seems to be a cryptic, but not so cryptic, reference to the fact that we might have done the strike. And so this is massively important, because if we did it, we just killed the top Iranian general. Are they going to retaliate? Absolutely. And their retaliation, I imagine, is going to be significant. And when it is, what do you think we're going to do? Especially with Trump, the incompetent fool who wants to show everybody how strong he is because he's so insecure, is probably going to retaliate even further. And we're going to get dragged into a war. It's not hyperbole. Look, I hope to God none of it happens. Okay, just the news is breaking now that it just happened, right, in terms of the military strike. By the way, civilians also killed in this strike on Baghdad's biggest airport. We're supposed to be an ally of Iraq. So the second guy that was killed, he's part of a militia force that is connected to the Iraqi government. So we're saying, yeah, it's funded by Iran. And I don't particularly doubt that. And I think that they probably do get some funding and backing from Iran. Degree to which they get funding from Iran, of course, I don't know, and the Pentagon is not at all clear about. But their head reports to the Iraqi prime minister. Again, we theoretically, our stated goal, part of the stated goal for the Iraq war was the liberation of Iraq. We are theoretically great allies with Iraq. Well, we just killed the head of one of the units connected to the Iraqi prime minister, if it was us that did it. And on top of that, we killed the top Iranian general. Again, if it was us that did it, okay? What would we do if Iran killed our top general? We'd go to war. Everybody knows that. So Donald Trump promised that he wouldn't do a disastrous war in the Middle East. Doesn't get any more disastrous than a war with Iran. Iran is 4 times the size of Iraq. The mayhem that this will create, not only in the Middle East, but throughout the world, is untold. It'll be the biggest war of our lifetimes. So the day that Barack Obama won, if you watch the Young Turks, our biggest point of celebration was, oh my God, we docked the ship before we went to war with Iran, because Dick Cheney was desperate to go to war with Iran. All these neocons have been dreaming about it for their whole lives. And Trump said, oh, no, I can't believe they got into the mess in Iraq. I wouldn't have done that. Well, this buffoon, by killing their top general, if that's what happened, is, I mean, look, if we did it, it'll be a minor miracle if we don't go to war. I mean, their retaliation is likely to be massive. Look, if you don't know Iran's capabilities, I don't blame you. It's a very particular thing. But I'm in the news business. Iran has massive capabilities for striking back in the Middle East. They're connected to Hezbollah that has 13,000 missiles they can launch on Israel. So these idiots think that they're never going to retaliate, no matter what we do to them, including killing their top generals. You're wrong. So what happens if they attack Israel? What happens if they attack our troops? We're now sending in more military to Iraq as we speak because of what's happening at the embassy. Trump said he's going to get us out of the wars in the Middle East. He's sending more troops in. And what are they doing there? They're sitting ducks. The whole point of those troops is to get attacked. And so now, we've started this tit for tat. And who started it? Well, look, this is unquestionable. Trump started it. Obama had made a deal with Iran that the entire world agreed to. Russia, China, Europe, all of our allies agreed to that deal. It was a great deal. It stopped their nuclear energy program. They didn't even have a nuclear weapons program. It stopped their nuclear energy program, and it took all the uranium out of the country. And all we did was we had hijacked their money in our banks, and we gave their money back. We lost nothing in that deal. It was an amazing deal. But the neocons wanted war. People like Marco Rubio, John Bolton, all the Cheneys, etc. And they thought, well, Trump is stupid enough that we could drive him into one. And here they are. So when any kind of hostility broke out, what they say to Trump? They say, oh, you're going to look weak. Don't look weak, you insecure little idiot. Don't look weak. And so Trump says, when the embassy violence began, he said, this won't be another Benghazi. I'm going to strike back so strong. Oh, Jesus Christ. So now here we are. If you thought the Iraq war was bad, wait till you get a load of the war with Iran. So they have proxies everywhere. They have capabilities. They have the smaller boats that could go blow holes in our aircraft carriers. God, I hope none of this happens. But in a different country that's supposed to be our ally, we might have just killed one of their paramilitary leaders and the leader of Iran's military forces. How is that not going to lead to a giant conflict? And if you thought the embassy was in danger before, wait till you get a load of it tomorrow. You think the Iraqis are going to be happy, the government and the people of Iraq, that we just bombed their airport and we killed one of their top military leaders connected to the prime minister, and we killed civilians? You think they're going to be happy? Would we be happy? Could you imagine if Iran bombed JFK Airport in the middle of New York and killed our top general? Look, we're going to have to see. It's just broke. I don't know who else would have done it other than us, but I hope to God it wasn't us, because if it is us, we're going to get stuck in the middle of the worst war you've ever seen. So, God help us. So, this is an absolute disaster. These idiots, these absolute idiots. We've got to get out of the Middle East and bring our troops home, bring them home, bring them home. Instead, look at the mess they just started. All right, God help us.